university has 11. Concerning the research part, the university has 11 research stations, each focusing on conducting need-based location-specific research on production, protection, and post-harvest technology and the value addition of mandatory horticultural crops. Apart from this, the university is bestowed with the 6 All India Coordinated Research Centers working on the mandatory crops like fruits, mango, guava, grapes, vegetable, tuber, and flower crops, and etc. Along with this, we have the organizing committee Just Agriculture Education Group is the India's largest agri-professional platforms with 8 lakh plus readers and 80,000 plus LinkedIn community members. It offers a platform to the latest agri innovations. The lush of our company is enthusiastic with the warm energy to channelize all the innovations, technicalities, emotions, and even the unheard chords and the unseen blaze of the farmers. Just Agriculture newsletter has published 10K plus articles from the academicians, research, and students of ICAR universities. Just Agriculture, the magazine, is widely circulated among the farmers, professionals, and academicians among the 28 states of India and 63 countries globally. Till now, Just Agriculture Education Group has organized 7 FDP programs, 9 workshops, 14 international trainings, 6 international conferences, and also co-organizers of many government-organized expo and summits. In a span of 2 years, Just Agriculture successfully provided training to more than 15,000 plus students and other agricultural stakeholders in the collaboration with the India's most reputed government agricultural institutions like Icar, NARM, NIPHM, Manage, IRRI, NAHEP, VNMKV Prabhani, Utkarsh Agribusiness Incubation Center, Dr. PDKV Akola, Dr. RPCAU Pusa, MPUAT Udaipur, and SKUAT Kashmir, and many more such institutions. So, the participants, as we already know, India, which is representing a critical pillar of our economy, employs a significant portion of the population and contributes substantially to the country's GDP. However, this sector is placed with inefficiencies, outdated practices, and inadequate access to the modern technology and techniques. Small and marginal farmers, who constitute the majority of India's agriculture workforce, often lack this necessary skills and knowledge to adapt it to the challenging market demands and mitigating risk and maximizing the productivity. So in this context, I am very delighted to introduce to all of you to our pioneer training initiative aimed at revolutionizing skill development in the agriculture and allied sector. Our motto to organize this Agritech 2050 is to help early career researchers in improving their knowledge and to develop participants with the knowledge, skill, and tools necessary to thrive in the evolving landscape of agriculture through their Agritech innovations. So with this introduction, now it is time to explore our subject matter. So for the first session, we have with us a great personality, Praveen sir. So Praveen sir is a technology leader who believes that business and technology together can be a force for good. He is a hands-on problem solver and an innovative thought leader with sound technical acumen. In his 25 plus years of career, he has put on multiple caps by first serving the India's Air Force for 10 plus years and later as an NRI in the USA who worked on getting IT projects to India for 13 plus years. And now he's serving as an agri-tech entrepreneur serving the India's agri sector for last 3.5 years. So Praveen Gurde sir, we are more than happy to have you here, and on the behalf of Just Agriculture team, I welcome you too on our digital platform, sir. We are honored that you have joined us today, and here I request you to join us on the platform and address our participants. So thank you, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you, Preeti ji. And a very good evening to all of you. I see a lot of people here, a lot of doctors, a lot of very eminent people, I believe. Again, students, agriculturists, a lot of agri enthusiasts here. So a warm welcome to all of you. It's really raining here in Hyderabad. I hope things are getting cooler at your respective places too. So just let's get started.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Let me share my screen. Where is the share screen here? Okay, I got it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
So the theme itself is Agritech 2050. That's a long way. By then, so currently we are envisaging 2047 is by when India will be a developed country. So again, very much in line with the conversation that's going on. So how to leverage digital platforms for farmer to farmer learning? That's the topic here today. So I'll be talking about digital platforms, how they really make a difference to this sector. Preeti ji was saying, well, our agri sector is backward and not using technology as much, not using the right kind of processes and systems. I believe that is changing very fast. Last 4 years, 5 years, that has changed quite a bit. So this is the sequence. What is a digital platform? Role of digital platforms. Why is farmer to farmer learning important? I'll be going over at least 3 use cases. The 3 different companies that I worked in the last 4 years in India in the agri space, and a call to action. So that's what I have here. So I'll quickly go over that. I know it might be cliche for some of you who have already seen digital platforms, or it might be something new. I am just hoping that you learn something new today. So what exactly is a digital platform? So it is a software-based online infrastructure that facilitates interactions and transactions between users. So that's exactly what it is. Be it our own WhatsApp, Facebook, right? So it can be a data aggregator like Google or Bing or any search engine. It can be a matchmaker. So marketplaces that we are aware of, the Amazons of the world, the Flipkarts of the world, the agri-bazaars. A collaborative tool. So again, you can form online communities, exchange knowledge, exchange information. So, or a combination of any or all of the above. So that is what a digital platform is. Right? Facebook, YouTube, Plantix, your crop doctor. They have intelligently put it as crop doctor, which is a search engine for the pests, identifying pests. National Agriculture Market, DAY-3 marketplaces, Agri-Bazaar. And then we have Samunati FPO Gateway, which is a collaborative tool for farmer producer organizations, for farmer collectives. So what is the role of digital platforms? So primarily, what is a platform? It is something that brings together people and systems, processes, all of that, right? So from a role standpoint, how I see it is, it can be a force for good. Technology as a force for good is what a digital platform can primarily be. So why we are even talking Agritech, why we are even talking all the technology that we are trying to bring into the agri sector today, because we believe it will help India's economy. It will help our larger population who rely on agriculture as their primary source of income, right? So the very primary role of a digital platform is it can be a force for good. It brings people together. It accelerates change. So just imagine how we were uh, before we had the cell phone, right? We were applying for landline. We were standing in STD booths in a line, right? So most of my age people can relate to it, how technology has completely changed things. Today we have a chalta phirta computer in our hands, which helps us connect with everybody in the world, which helps us with get all the information very quickly, right? It removes information asymmetry, so that democratizes quite a few things. It's about knowing the latest price information, knowing the latest availability information. So nobody can fool anybody. So it's all the asymmetry part is removed, through which a lot of intermediation can be removed. So intermediation is good. We firmly believe intermediation is good, because if you are adding value through intermediation, then it's good. But if you're only masking information and trying to make bucks out of that, then that is not very fruitful. It's not very productive. So technology removes information asymmetry, and it helps solve at scale. So at the scale of a country like India, at the scale of a continent like Africa or Latin America, right? So problems that can be solved at a population scale, that is only possible through technology. Today, we are seeing all the digital public infrastructure that has been developed in India for the last 7 to 10 years, starting from Aadhaar, UIDAI, then NSDL came in with your PAN card. Then you started getting all kinds of digital public infrastructure, UPI. You started getting FASTags. You started getting now ONDC, right? OCAN, Open Credit Enable Network, Open Network for Digital Commerce, ONDC. AgriStack is the latest one, where there is a lot of data exchange between all the players, private and public players. So all this can be solved only using technology and innovatively solving problems. It brings in authenticity and trust, increased visibility to what you have. It improves reputation because you start getting a digital imprint of what you are doing, how you are doing, why you are doing all that. It enhances convenience, faster, safer, with better quality. That's what a platform provides. Greater security. So nobody can fool anybody because your reputation is at stake. So authenticity and trust is another important area that a digital platform can bring in. Obviously, when I go to Amazon, if I don't see good ratings for the seller, I'm not going to buy from them. I'm going to go search for another seller. It helps sell much faster. The reach is tremendous. And digital platform also helps productivity hit the roof. So when you have a more data-driven decision making, when you have much tools that completely change the way you are operating, right? When you are managing your entire field team using a digital platform, just imagine how productivity hits the roof, right? It's not only the mechanization tools, it's not only the other tools, but digital platforms also help improve productivity. So we use digital platforms to also help farmer to farmer learning. And why is that important? Why is farmer to farmer learning important? So Preeti ji mentioned in her introduction, we are not using a lot of technology. We are not using latest methods. We are not using latest techniques. The bioagents, the specialty fertilizers, the use of digital tools like Plantix, the use of digital tools like the satellite-based systems. Right? When farmers communicate using digital tools, the learning becomes much faster. Today, they are already doing it. Many of them who are on WhatsApp, they exchange YouTube videos. They exchange Facebook posts on farming, right? So without doing that, we cannot reach scale. We cannot really spread the word of mouth so fast, right? And most importantly, why is it important? It's important because agriculture is a very tough subject. I come from technology field, technology sector. I have worked in communications in the Indian Air Force, like ground-to-air communications, But for me, agriculture is the most toughest subject. Why is it so? And I really praise most of the agri MBAs I have been working with the last 4 years, 5 years. So they are very different from the engineers I have worked with in tech sector. Their knowledge is very broad based. Their approach to problem solving is very different, right? So it's a very tough subject for the simple reason it involves seasonality. Different crops grow in different conditions and weather is an unpredictable variable. Agronomics, different commodities have different economic behavior, geographic behavior, right? So they completely, their inputs are different. The way you grow them is different. The care with which you have to handle the finished produce is different. The way you are handling the plant from one stage to other is different, right? So it's a very tough subject there. The geographic conditions are so diverse that there is no one size fits for all solution. We all keep saying, "Maine digital platform bana diya. I have done this, I have done that." But why is everything failing? Why is everything not able to solve everything? For the simple reason, there is no one size fits for all solution here. It's very diverse subject there. Culture. So when I worked in Samunati, when I worked in different companies and interacted with the field people and the end customers are farmers, farmer collectives, what I realized is what works in MP does not work in Tamil Nadu. People are very different. The belief systems are very different. The cultures are different. So agriculture needs very localized solutions. The language, the dialects, the behaviors, everything is different. The sensitivities, sensibilities, everything is different. So when we start working on these solutions, it's important that we have very local mindset to solving problems. And then there is the urban-rural divide. So we all the white-collared guys, the suit guys, go sit, do a lot of seminars, a lot of lectures saying that this is what good for agriculture, that is good for agriculture. But on the ground, we realize the farmers know the best, right? So we can't beat them. We really can't beat them because their knowledge is all very organic. They have learned it through their own experience. Now we go there and give them lecture. It doesn't make any sense. So we learn from them. That is more important. We listen to them. We understand them. That is where solutions to problems are developed. That is where the right kind of products and services are evolved. Just by saying, okay, I can do this, I can do that, it does not make any sense. I have seen that firsthand. They know well how to use them and adapt. So once we give them a tool, if it really works for them, we don't even need to train them. They find new use cases. I'll come to that in a moment. They find new use cases to use that tool to help them in many different ways, not just one way that you have developed it for them. So I'll quickly go over a few digital platform use cases here. First one, taking the company names here, but these are the platforms that I have personally worked in. So I'm taking the liberty to explain them to you. So fpogateway.com was developed by my team. So we onboarded more than 6,000 FPOs there, more than 6 lakh farmers, digitized many of those farmers. Out of those 6 lakhs, we literally digitized more than 1 lakh. 400 districts pan India and 20,000 villages. So that was the reach of the platform. So we did know your member survey. So the farmer collectives, the FPOs, we told them, unless you know your members well, you can't do business. You have to understand who your members are, what they do, why they do what they do. So unless you know that, you're not going to succeed as an organization. So we helped them run some know your member surveys, like 140 questions. We had a shorter form, like 30 questions. So we were profiling the actor and the activity. The actor is the farmer and the activity is farming. So both the things we were doing there. comprehensive ERP system for FPOs. It's like the tally for FPOs, the Khata book for FPOs. We created something for them using this FPO gateway. Lending platform for FPOs. Again, because we had FPO profiles on our platform, farmer profiles on our platform, we were helping banks, NBFCs to really explore lending opportunities there. And we also had some unique member engagement solutions there, like robocall. I'll come to that in a moment. Bulk SMS, grading and engagement scores for FPOs, village-wise crop reports. All of these we enabled through the FPO Gateway platform. By the way, now I believe they have changed it to FPO Next. If you really want to check out what's happening, it's called fponext.com. So the robocall feature, I wanted to just dwell upon it. So what we were essentially doing is when I visited one of the tomato growing FPOs in Karnataka, so I was asking them what exactly was your problem. They had a fertilizer shop and they had decent business there, but then they still had lots of problems. So I asked them, what is your primary challenge? So many people generalize saying, you know what, a lot of farmers, every farmer is using WhatsApp. Every farmer has a smartphone today. Or many people generalize it saying that, no, farmers don't even have phones. Their kids are using phones, maybe, but they don't have phones. Most of them may be on feature phones, feature handsets. Or somebody else says, you know what, everything has changed. So these generic statements do not make any sense unless you talk to them in a very localized approach, because there could be situations where there is no network in that area, right? BSNL might not have put towers there. I don't know. Or it's possible that they are far away from the city. Or is it possible they are actually closer to the city? It's possible that their kids are all now getting good education, or it's also possible their kids are working as farm labor, right? So it's a very, very huge mistake to generalize that across India. It's a very local situation, very situation-based thing that we need to look at here. So what this guy told me, Mr. Narasimha Reddy, I believe. So what he told me is, I have about 1,000 farmers in my FPO, whereas only 200 people come to my shop. I want the remaining 800 people to come to my shop. What do I do about it? Then I said, don't you have WhatsApp? He said, those 200 are from the WhatsApp group. Then I said, well, what is stopping you from really making you calls and all? I can't keep making calls to 1,000 people, right? So what are the other ways? How are you increasing the reach? He said, sir, there are about total about 200 villages. The nearest 15 villages people come to me. The remaining people don't come to me. So something on that lines. I don't remember the numbers exactly. This has been like 4 years now. So then I asked, what exactly do you want to do? He said, sir, help me communicate with them. Right? So now look at it. Everybody thinks creating a marketplace will solve all the problems. Everybody thinks I do very high-end satellite solution will solve the problem. But any technology for that matter, I come from a communications background. Any technology will not thrive unless first you resolve the communication problem. Right? That's when I started thinking about, okay, how to do this. So in US, nowadays, last 6 months, I know every lending company is making a lot of robocalls to you. So don't blame me. I didn't bring that to the banks. So what I did is 4 years back, I said, okay, let's create some customized robocall facility for these FPOs. Only the FPO CEO has access. He'll be able to record a message. He'll be able to select the members by product, by crop, by village, or by farmer interest group, or by individual farmer name, and send it across. So in this case, they had 4,000 members. So you can send it to only a specific village farmer or a specific crop, all the potato growing farmers or tomato growing farmers likewise. So we had 1,000 plus FPOs use it, more than 4,70,000 calls made by the time I left the company then, and availability of inputs. So they started making very good use cases out of it. So he started telling, okay, urea is available now, or my tomato procurement has started, or my paddy procurement has started. And I was aghast to see some Bihar-based FPOs, they started giving advertisement of some agri products through the robocall. And one of the things that we did is we localized the message for weather. So once my API gives me the weather information for the select location, I know the farmer's location, the farmer's name, the farmer's location, his state. So what we used to do is, based on that farmer's location, we used to pull the weather information, translate it into his local language, and transmit it to the farmers every day at 6 p.m. so that he can prepare for the next day. So we got very good feedback there. The only challenge here is the cost. Every call costs, every SMS costs, right? So we got very good feedback saying that, sir, this is helping us prepare for the next day. So that is one of the digital platform that we built. And then very recently, Samunnati has announced Academy for FPOs. So this was the Samunnati Foundation initiative. So we made more than 500 videos in 5 different languages. It was from grants from BMGF and USDFC, US Development Finance Corporation. And we ran some very good projects to digitize these learning modules for the FPOs. So initially we called it FPO Academy, but then we changed it to Academy, Samunnati Academy for FPOs. And it's picking up speed now. It has been published and now it is picking speed. So again, for FPOs to run a business, to really think of profitability, to really learn ways to do their marketing, to do their governance. So a lot of subjects there. Technology, how to use technology. Videos on organic agriculture, on agri value chains, different agri value chains. So a lot of videos have started. So again, it's a digital platform there. Samunnati Foundation, 400 plus videos, 5 languages. So the next platform that I'll be talking about is in my next company, Fertis India Private Limited. So it's a specialty fertilizer company. If Nagarjuna is a bulk fertilizer company, Fertis India Private Limited is a specialty fertilizer company. They don't make urea, they make very specialty fertilizers. So they have a program called ProRise, proprietary crop management program for seed treatment to harvest. So different stages of the harvest, different produce, different geographies. They have products like Zitol, Intensive Track, and all those things. So what we did is specialty fertilizers, molecular nutrients, and proprietary microbes. So you will see a pattern here. I initially worked in a agri finance company. Then I worked briefly for an agri inputs company. Now I'm completely running an agri output company with the experts here. So I just made sure I'm across all 3 areas. So word of mouth adoption has made these products a huge hit. Imagine digital platform being used to perpetuate the adoption. So now these products were getting real good traction, but not at scale. So that is where we said, okay, we should have a digital platform. So I was heading the platform development part there, which had both input marketplace, output marketplace, finance marketplace, all the 3 areas. So I believe they are coming to more of a production stage now. I do not have updates. It's been more than a year that I left the company, but it is more of a digital technology platform to help the farmers in India. So now I'll talk about my current company, which is called DigiGrain Solutions Private Limited. So this is this has been set up by 5 of us together. mostly people who are very experienced in commodities, warehousing, trading, all that areas. So my co-founders are veterans from the industry, especially from companies like National Commodities Management Limited, NCML. They have worked in companies like SPIC. They have worked in companies like Coromandel, Reliance, a lot of companies there. So what we are doing here is value chain integration. So that's exactly what we are doing here. You will see the producers, the farmers, FPOs, traders, and the other aggregators. You will see there is always a quality and quantity check happening for your produce when you are selling it. You will see you need storage space, warehouse owners, warehouse service providers. Then you have agri and food MSMEs who are processing those raw materials and creating finished goods. You have banks and other lenders. You have corporates and retail guys. So here we see an amalgamation of supply chain technologies, fintech solutions, ERP, and marketing technology solutions. So how they are laid out between all these stakeholders across the value chain. So we are integrating the value chain using a single workflow. So how these agri food MSMEs submit requests for quotations, how they submit, how the producers submit bids, how they receive purchase orders, how the commodity is shipped to the warehouse, how they are weighed, how their quality check is done, how lease is agreements are written between parties, right? Then financing, how all these banks and NBFCs and other lenders are providing lending to this space. It's called supply chain finance. And then how finished goods are branded, how they are marketed, and then you need ERP systems for purchase to procure and order to cash and manage their finance and accounting. Manufacturing ERP, production, they have to manage their inventory, right? All of these. And also corporate submit RFQs, they issue purchase orders, right? How payments are done, how bill discounting is done, how customer onboarding is done. All of this is all managed within the platform that we are building today. And it solves for one single problem, that is uh, removing all the friction between all the parties while they are doing agri and food based transactions. So that's what exactly it does. It speeds up the process, it improves trust and transparency, it removes the friction, and it really helps MSMEs grow into a global scale participants. So they will be able to participate in global value chains using this platform. So I took these three important use cases for you to understand how digital platforms are built. Now I will rather ask you some questions. I don't know if there is a way to participate, but let me go ahead and try. I am a strong believer in entrepreneurship. And within entrepreneurship, agri space is some place where we can really do some good impact. So what if I ask you to give India one goal till 2030? We all see news, we all see the happenings around, right? So what do you think is the most important goal for India as a country? Just feel free to answer in the chat or unmute and answer.
Dear participants, please participate with sir because sir already the access to chat and to unmute themselves is given to.
Okay, boost employment for youths, fantastic. Eliminate stubble burning, grow more organic, sustainability. Okay, digitization of agriculture, production and yield. Okay, to increase productivity, IoT. Okay, sustainability, eliminate stubble, boost employment. Super. use of blockchain, AI, IoT, but those are all solutions. They are not problems, right? So one important goal for India, make India a hub of technology, decreasing arable land area, so increase in productivity. One single problem for India as an economy, as a country, to increase the GDP contributed by agriculture. Okay, fantastic. Increase productivity and feed, educate farmers, climate change, bring technology, focus on quality. Okay, so these are all the lead factors, right? I want one outcome-based goal where all of these culminate into a single goal. What is that? GDP 1 trillion. Okay, coming closer there. Economic quality, resource conservation, limited arable culture is possible everywhere, water scarcity. Okay, if we are a developed country, I believe there can be technologies where water problems are also solved. Dubai tried that recently. Reduce carbon emission. Okay, yeah, a lot of answers here. One came close. 1 trillion agri-based economy. Right. Agri graduates should enter into entrepreneurship. Fantastic. Okay, you're ahead of me. You're all ahead of me. Okay, I'll stop there. So yes, the answer is we want to be a 5 trillion and third largest economy by 2030, right? So we'll see. We'll see what agriculture can do there. One of you have said 1 trillion economy just driven by agri, right? So what is India's topmost priority? So I asked you for a goal, but what is the topmost priority right now? We are a huge population, right? So what is the topmost? Some of you already mentioned that. But from a priority standpoint, every election, people fail on that one aspect. What is that? Self-sufficient, okay. Food security, sustainable, increased storage, So self-sufficient is one way, yes. But is that the top priority for us? What is the top priority for us? Huge population, employment generation, correct. Right? We need jobs. Simple. We need jobs. Job creation. Right? So what is the next question is, tell me one sector that can create maximum jobs. It's a no-brainer, right? Rural employment. Who creates rural employment? Who creates more job opportunities? Which sector? Unanimous. Food, agriculture, agritech, digital, IT. But no, sorry, it's not IT. It's the agri sector that is creating the maximum jobs. Look at this. IT is services, 25%. Manufacturing is 11%. Agriculture is 53%, or even closer to 60. Somebody was saying 14% GDP, then it is 60% jobs. Right? So think of it. This one sector can solve the problem. If there is hope, that is agriculture. But traditionally, we have been stopping agriculture. Farmers are sending their kids as engineers. Most farmers I know, their kids are all engineers in US. Now, only after I started seeing all these agri-based universities, agri-based colleges, I started feeling more hopeful now that, oh, there is a lot of agri MBA happening, a lot of agri science happening, right? Agriculture science happening, a lot of. So now, what do you think will make this happen? The topmost priority being fulfilled, the goal being achieved. What will make all of this happen? Startups, yes.
The awareness program.
Awareness, perfect. Digitalization, job creation, yes. But how to create those jobs? How to really create that awareness? Networking, very good. Job giver,
Digital
not job
marketing.
seeker. Digital
marketing of agriculture sector through the social medias
market
and
linkages,
various
creating
factors.
market linkages. Yes. Yes. So the answer is enable farmers to communicate with each other using digital tools. So can someone tell which is the most used platform, digital platform by farmers? Not Enam, not AgroStar. Yes, somebody said WhatsApp, YouTube. Perfect. Shamasundar Rao Garu, perfect. YouTube and WhatsApp is the most used platform, digital platforms by farmers. They know prices because they are in WhatsApp groups. They learn techniques, new technologies, new techniques because they are on YouTube. So, and exchange info on latest technology, productivity hacks, market info like prices, demand, and availability. As long as they're able to get the information on prices, demand, and availability. Demand is important because, again, demand based production always yields better economics, makes more economic sense. Instead of everybody and growing sugarcane in that year, everybody going and producing paddy in one state or wheat in one state, it makes more sense to understand the market, how the demand is playing out, how the international markets are behaving. Based is that understand the prices fluctuation, understand the macroeconomics there, understand availability of this produce. That will help create more jobs in agri sector, right? So I strongly suggest, please pursue agripreneurship. Even if you want to learn things, join initial startups, initial companies, but eventually when you start becoming more of an expert in the sector, please take up agripreneurship as a career. So that's my call to action. Any questions? Yeah, Rishi Unnati Melas. I'll open it up for a handful of questions here. Yeah, Harshilji, please go ahead.
Hello, my voice is coming.
Yes.
Sir, I am Harshil Bhuke from Gujarat and currently working in ISRO. Sir, my question is, I have one product which I will production cost is a 2.20 paisa per kg, and if I will sell that product in a wholesale, then I will get a 15 rupees. And if I will sell this product with the marketing, then I will take a 30 rupees per kg. So with this profits per acre, I am making 6 lakhs. So I have to means my question is, I have to pursue entrepreneurship or what? What is the solution?
You have to pursue.
I have to pursue basically this is a farming product. So I have to do farming or what to do? Basically, I am agriculture engineer.
So you have to do farming or you have to do marketing. Is that what you are saying? You are an agriculture engineer.
Yes, sir.
Please speaking loudly.
Yeah, your voice was breaking, so I wasn't able to get the question exactly. But if you are an agriculture engineer, my suggestion is definitely work on productivity technologies, sir. Farm productivity is one area that we all are very much looking for. Sorry?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, because because of your question, let me just quickly take you to my other slides here. So what is Agritech? It's a very vague term, right? So very vague term. People say everything is Agritech, but what exactly it is, right? So you have mechanization solutions. You have drones for spraying landscape, crop yield analysis. You have biotechnology for agriculture, plant nutrition and protection. You have satellite monitoring for intelligent farming. You have supply chain technologies, what I showed you DigiGrain is doing. You have farmer collectives management, farmer FPO gateway or FPO next. You have pest identification, disease detection, remediation. Then you have call center based communication technologies that I showed you, robocall, artificial intelligence and machine learning for harvesting, trace and track using blockchain, ERP for farmers and farmer collectives, right? And last but not the least, e-commerce and fintech. So many technologies exist. Now, what is Agritech in this? So Agritech is use of technology for agriculture, right? One thing I am kind of baffled is most agri MBAs, most agriculture schools do not teach technology, but they expect everybody to come and work in Agritech companies. They expect everybody to contribute to technology there. Agriculture engineering is one exception. So I'm glad that we have agriculture engineering. But then the MBAs, the agribusiness MBAs, the food and agribusiness MBAs, they don't teach technology. Very small module, very, very introductory module. That's it. So nobody has really taken pain in categorizing these things. Farming and harvesting technology, which increase productivity. Agribusiness management technology, which are digital platforms, Agritech, fintech, digital platforms. Supply chain technology, which are workflows, which enable the value chain players to participate in it seamlessly. Social and communication technologies, this we know. Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, and all this. So broadly, they are at 4 levels. By purpose. It's by purpose. Farming and harvesting is productivity. Agribusiness management is more of digital. So if you are an IT engineer wanting to work in agri sector, agri and business management technology makes sense. If you are an agriculture engineer or you are a mechanical engineer, farming and harvesting technologies make more sense. You are into productivity, or if you are a biotechnology engineer, right? So that is where you really want to be. Supply chain technologies. Supply chain technologies, if you have been mostly into trading, you have been mostly into moving goods around, you have been mostly into connecting the different value chain players. That is when supply chain technologies. So Agritech is broad-based, but still somebody could categorize them and put them into boxes and really make sure that there is focused innovation happening in that space. What today we see is innovation is not happening. Mostly copycats, right? So how innovation happens, it's important. So I'll come back to the chat room here for other questions. How to end farmers to businessman trade in the market so that farmers can earn more profit than a trader. So like I said, this I learned in the last 4 years. Again, Anilji from Samunati, he helped me understand. So intermediation is not a bad thing. Because if it's a fresh fruits and vegetables thing, you have to keep it fresh till it comes to the market. So only a trader can help do that. Those intermediaries can keep it fresh. Those intermediaries can transport it in a way that it does not get destroyed. The value does not get destroyed, right? So intermediation is not the bad thing. The bad thing is if it is unorganized intermediation, there is scope for misuse. There is scope for abuse, right? So unless all the organized intermediaries come in, corporates, I don't want to use the word corporate because it has a very negative connotation in India, but these players who are paying GSTs, these players who are using very organized way of doing things, which are in line with the law of the land, right? Not cutting corners, not trying to do black versus white trade and all that. So it helps. It improves the credibility. It improves the credit score. It helps you get more credit, right? So that's what it is. What is your opinion on non-agri graduates entering agri startup, but agri graduates deny to enter? Is that because IT guys fond of tech plus? What is your opinion on non-agri entering agri startup, but agri graduates deny to enter? Is that good? No, I see a lot of agri BScs, agri engineers, and agri MBAs join Agritech space. So non-agri entering this space, I am non-agri. I have come into this space with a lot of fondness for this sector. So I see a lot of people coming in actually. But yes, skill also matters. So wherever you want to go and work, just your craving for that space will not help. you also have to develop that skill over a period of time. That is when you really succeed there. Otherwise, you fumble. How to make technology adoption by farmers less costly, especially for marginal farmers? Yeah, a lot of so that's one reason the NABARDs, SFACs, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Reliance Foundation, the Tata Trust, all these people are coming in with lots of grants, so India is still at that phase where grants are required. Maybe after 5 years, grants are not required, but these grants are being effectively used, I believe, to make sure these capacity building, institution building, all that is happening for the farmer collectives. And it has to happen at an aggregation level. It can't be at an individual farmer level. So that's why FPOs, farmer collectives become very important there. Please share this presentation. I will do that, sir. Nitin Goyal, sir. Will help make farmers make more money nearby RWA. We are doing it in Delhi. I don't know what RWA is. I apologize for my.
Sir, good evening, sir. I'm having a small query. So can I ask it?
Please.
Yes, sir. I'm V. Subhash, sir, and I'm currently pursuing a master's degree from Lovely Professional University. I did my undergraduate from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. At that time, when I was undergoing RAVE program, I have interacted with many of the farmers. But what I have found is that many modern farmers as well as the normal farmers, they are so much of lack in the social medias and all. So apart from the several schemes away from our KVKs and our government agencies, they are not having that much awareness about those modernization in agriculture sector, like how to operate the mechanizations of tools and etc. So what could be the solution to rectify them, sir?
So digital is cheaper, mechanization is costly.
Yeah, that's what for that only, no, sir, for these NGOs and all providing subsidies in the lower cost.
You will see farmers who have a tractor succeed much faster than farmers who do not have a tractor, right?
Yes,
so
yes, sir.
So every technology, everything will have a maturity cycle to it. So because a lot of investment is happening in this space, because a lot of focus is happening in this space, tech startups are getting funding. A lot of new innovative solutions are being brought in, right? I know companies like AgriVijay, which does solar-based products and all. So what I can tell you is, it's agri sector itself is not a. So Netflix, how much time did it take to change from CDs to broadband?
A fraction of days.
No, sir. Netflix was initially sending CDs to homes. Okay, it was in US, not in India. But for years and years, there was a company called Blockbuster, which used to rent CDs and all that. Okay, what Netflix did is it started sending the same CDs by post.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so for several years, it kept sending CDs. Till one fine day, it said, you know what, broadband is now good enough for me to really live stream. So it was preparing for all those years for the broadband to achieve that level for streaming.
Okay, sir.
So we are in a very preparatory stage. Now, within next 5 years, mechanization will hit the roof again. I'm very sure mechanization will become very important, especially because of shortage of farm labor and all those aspects. Now you see how many farmers have started using drones for your pichkari and all that, right? You'll start seeing once it becomes.
But in this case, the large farmers can only avail these drone technologies now.
That's why collectives are important, no? So when you are FPOs, you are becoming a member of a farmer collective, a large FPO, small FPO, whatever, farmer producer company, whichever. When you enroll as a member there, that FPO will own a tractor, that FPO will own a drone, that FPO will have a harvester, that FPO will have different types of, they call it custom hiring centers, right? FPOs generally have CHCs. So now, because you are a member of that FPO, you get that rent for very cheap. Because you have invested in that FPO, you have put 1,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees in that FPO, you're already a participant there. So that's one reason collectivization is very important. If you say, I don't have time to go to FPO meeting and all, that's your problem.
Sir, I have one more question. Like as you said, WhatsApp and YouTube are the most used platform by the farmers. So if we create any platform, so how we can reach the farmers and what are the main things we can focus on to attract them to our platform?
So many people do this mistake, including me. I sit in office and I keep imagining farmers will take this, farmers will like this, where they will not like that. So you have to be always on the field to understand the farmers' needs.
Yes, sir. But if you guide some, like if you tell me some insights or the main things which we can focus on.
See, it's called go-to-market strategy. आपका नाम क्या है, sir?
Aditya.
Aditya. So any product that you build, unless you have a product market fit, unless you have a proof that the problem exists, so it's a completely marketing problem, a completely this thing, right? So unless you have a product market fit and you have a really good go-to-market strategy, building that product does not make sense. You might invest crores or even lakhs, but if you do not have a good idea of how you want to take it to the market and have that end customer or your target audience adapt it, then you are setting up yourself for a failure. So always have a good go-to-market strategy. What will make that product stick? So should Sunny Deol really advertise your product, or should Shah Rukh Khan do that? I don't know, right? So you have to think through that. Who is your farmer's what you call idol? तकियत जी, क्या उनका नाम पूरा? तकियत जी का नाम पूरा नहीं जानता हूँ. Maybe just involve that kind of guys in your marketing strategies. So it's again a simple thing. What appeals to them matters. Now YouTube, you have lots of influencers. Why not go and talk to them? So I'm not here to give a class on marketing, but the little that I know, I've just mentioned that. Okay, investment. Yeah, no problem. Investors losing trust, sir. Sir, this happens in all sectors. Technology had its bubble burst in 2000, but then technology picked up later. So even in Indian investment cycles are going through multiple things. There are going to be good things. There are going to be bad things. How I take it, sir, is वो होता है ना, सागर मथन बोलते हैं ना. पहले वेनम भी आता है, उसके बाद अमृत भी आता है, उसके बाद सब कुछ आ जाता है, right? So every sector, it will go through its cycles. So just putting your scale on one point in time and saying this is set for doom, I don't believe that. It is a cycle, it keeps going on. So every sector will get its day. I believe agri sector has already got its day. Okay, I think 7-2. I can take one last question.
Sir, I am from Andhra Pradesh, sir. I am studying BSc Agriculture, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to start up a EdTech company as a SaaS company, sir.
Edutech.
Yes, sir. EdTech company, sir.
Agritech company as a SaaS startup. Okay.
For the farmers to educate and learning platform, sir.
Okay.
Sir, that new modern technologies and new innovation technologies teach in that platform, sir, and proper usage of their resources, like proper time proper time of sowing, all cultivation practices to proper cultivation practices to them, sir.
Hmm.
By teaching from experts or from research from experts of
So
agriculture.
my simple thing answer is, okay, we are seeing a lot of agri-based startups, lot of new ideas hovering there and all that, right? So my simple suggestion is go with your calling. When you have a very clear idea of what your beliefs are, what your strengths are, what your overall this thing is, basis that if you are able to find one problem that you want to solve, that is a very good start. Instead of trying to do everything, one simple problem that you want to solve, that is where you want to start. If you want to do everything, then I will say think twice.
Yes, sir. Sir, I want some mentorship from like you founders, sir. Some Agritech founders, sir.
Yeah. So
Some
go to events, meet people. You will get a lot of people. Okay.
yes, sir.
Ravina ji, be in agri sector. It's a good place to be in. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. Thanks for patiently listening to my monologue. I really apologize if it was boring, but I hope that you picked some tidbits of knowledge and information here. Thank you so much again.
No, sir, it would be, unfair to say like it was boring. It was, more than a session we can call. So thank you so much for such an informative, inspiring, engaging, and captivating talk, sir. About like whatever you said about the digital world and agri-tech, it was, so we have students here from starting from UG to doctoral fellows, then to other researchers as well. So I hope, sir, you have ignited many minds today. So your contribution has undoubtedly an important step in guiding our Agritech 2050 this conference. So thank you once again, sir, and thank you once again for answering all the questions so patiently. We had many questions today, and it was such a nice session, sir. So we are more than happy to have you here today, sir. Sir, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. There are 240 people I see. Thanks to each of you.
Thank you, sir. So, dear participants, sir has shared the email address to if you want to, connect to sir. So it is there in the chat box. So it's I'm just copying it again. So you can, directly mail to sir if you have any other query. So I'm just mailing it. And yeah, so thank you so much, sir, once again. Thank you, sir. So, dear participants, moving ahead, let us keep the momentum of the session first to the session number 2. We have with us an empowered woman and a successful entrepreneur as our guest in the second session, Miss Premangi Kagram, ma'am. So, ma'am, good evening.
A very good evening to all of you.
Before I invite you for your talk, ma'am, I would just give a brief introduction about you to our participants. So, Miss Premangi Kagram, ma'am, is an MBA in marketing with professional experience of 7+ years. Ma'am centers her proficiency in marketing, public relations, and business development. To carry the legacy of her grandfather's fresh garlic business, her brainchild Oceanus Exports Private Limited deals into processed foods, vegetables, and powders in dehydrated, freeze-dried, and retort technology. The same has been encouraged by Government of India and funded by Khadi and Village Industries Commission. She is mentoring a few agro-based college startups of Marwadi University, Rajkot, and being mentored by Shri Dinesh Oja and a few veterans of the processed food industry. So, ma'am, Team Just Agriculture welcomes you to our digital platform. We are honored to have you join us today, and we are eagerly anticipating your talk, ma'am. So, here I request you to join us on this platform and address all our participants. So, the platform is all yours, ma'am.
Thank you all of you. It's almost 2:39. Okay. First of all, a very good evening to all of you present here. I'm sure and that at 7:08 p.m. when people are sitting here and wanting to expect some knowledge, you must make them sure that there is something specific that they can gain of. As Preeti has rightly mentioned, my name is Premangi Khagram. I rightly belong from the dehydration industry. I was kept very open with the topic of what should be discussed with all of you, which is why when I just entered this room, I thought, let me discuss with you a small story of mine, and then we'll connect that dots with what exactly I do at this moment. I'm sure there are a lot of women and men in the room equally, and this session is not just for women. I'm gonna really break the myth said that a women entrepreneur always wants to talk about women, and no, it's not that. I'd like to equally talk about men also, because men also at the moment need equal justice in terms of speaking. So while talking about my story, I belong from a very small place, which is besides Jamnagar. I'm sure you all have seen the Ambani pre-wedding happening on Instagram, right? So I just belong almost an hour away from there. So we belong from a very small place, and my education till my 10th standard, that is SSC, has happened there. My grandfather belongs from garlic farming industry, but never I ever had any interest into getting into agribusiness industry. There were no points, and I always believed that I was a person of communications, PR, media, events, something which is always very much verbal and very much vocal. But I'll tell you why I got into this and how did I get. So, as I belong from this particular place, my education had happened from there till my 10th. Then I moved further to a place called Rajkot. I'm sure many of you don't know that. But Rajkot is a little better place to work and learn than from where I belong from. So and the world looks very different to you, right? When you're just 10th passed out and your parents actually bring you to a very different place. And we are all the freedom. We're all the freedom, but I didn't wanted any freedom. I asked my parents not to give me a phone. I am talking about that age when I was just in 11th standard. So 11th standard, I did not keep a phone, and I asked my parents that I will study and do not want any entertainment or any recreational activities besides me. My friends were enough to have a good time spent. But as I kept on, focusing more on my studies, and then graduation came, then my post graduation came, I kept on realizing that um, being men or women, that's one part of the story. But when you focus on something which you like doing, that is, I used to like stage a lot of stage activities I used to do. I kept on focusing myself on anything which would bring me to stage. That built my confidence, that built my energy to talk to myself in such a nicer way and be very clearer of what I want to do. I have failed miserably a lot of times in not understanding and quitting those things. But seriously, out of those clarities, has this particular business of mine, that is Ocean as Exports Private Limited, come down. While I was just in my COVID stage, that was the peak of the second wave. I'm sure that you all know that many of us were dying at that point, and we were seeing all the deaths around. That was my COVID phase. I was in a little bad phase because one of my school friends had just suicided just a day ago, and I was almost on the fourth day of my COVID. I was kept under observation and had no symptoms. I was an asymptomatic, but out of that fear and that worries, my parents and my grandparents, that that school friend of her might affect her own mental health. They kept on talking to me almost hour 2 hourly basis, at least once, or 5-10 minutes for at least those 2 days. And I remember talking to my grandfather, because that point of time I was working with an events company. I said my grandfather that this events is not going to do good, because now we are in an era where events are going to take time to regenerate and come in a better shape. What should be done? he suggested me that, there are many options of anything which is fresh. This was the right word used. My grandfather is at his 87 at the moment. He would be 86 when he had said 83, 84 when he would have said this. But he just said this one sentence. One sentence. Audience, if you want to capture something from this session, capture what am I speaking in more bolder manners to you. He said me this one sentence, and I had all the time. I was almost having 14 days of quarantine time. I Googled up. I said, what's that which is a substitute of fresh? I Googled every possible word I knew about understanding the product. And you'll not believe, the fourth day I came to know, and the seventh day I had a plan. I had a plan in mind that I'm going to work on this. So all the days of my COVID were just spent so happily thinking of what am I going to do when when I am alive, rather I live, and when I'm coming out of this. So I was actually kept in for quarantine, I was kept in a hotel room so that I don't spread the same to others. And 14 days completed, I got something in mind, and I had to increase my quarantine time because my parents weren't sure that they should bring me back to my house. So they said that you still take a week and you still rest there and be sure that you are out of this stage. So I still got more of 7 days and a week. And what I did, I just kept on filtering. I tell you, I didn't know anything about the industry. I didn't know what is the harvest time. Whatever you guys know at this stage, I didn't know even 5% of what I wanted to do at that point of time. But that one sentence of having a substitute of fresher form kept me ignited that if there is a substitute of a fresher form, it's going to be a convenient product. It's going to be a product which is going to win hearts later, and of course, minds and stomach very easily. Fresher products have a lot of problems in terms of commodity pricing. They are a lot having very less shelf life. They have a lot of operations to do, labor, oil, fuel. uh, their storages are high. They have price volatility problem. And what I understood out of all of this is that, when you pick up a problem, and then I also genuinely knew that there are many competitors doing this, but I still felt like doing it because I felt that this is a futuristic product to invest myself into. I'll again repeat, I felt this is a futuristic product in an industry. So dehydration industry that I'm right now belonging to, we have competitors around. But I had a strength in my pitch. I knew that if I am made to sit between the best of and the biggest of competitors, I still will make my sense because I could gauge something better out of this industry. So again, putting third sentence on bold, the first sentence was which my grandfather told me. That was, there is a substitute of fresh available. Second, I kept on filtering out myself, and the bold sentence that I put was, I focused on what was important to be taken from the conversation. And the third important thing was, I was very sure what as a company that we can do together and what can be minused out of this. So we wanted to minus the whole, that's cutting, chopping, peeling, washing, boiling process. We wanted to minus that whole process out of this industry. It's it's not an easy task. It is a mammoth task to say, because I'm not able to still reach there, right, where you belong from. We are working currently in 4 states, that is in Delhi, Gujarat, that is my own state, Punjab, and we are working in Bombay. So we have started our operations in bits and pieces everywhere. And what we are right now doing is we are gathering up team. So if you want to exactly know what we do, just follow us at 2 places. That is, one is pick up your phone, type on LinkedIn, Premangi Khagram with the exact name that I've kept here. Don't miss out any of the words, otherwise you will find some other Premangi there. Uh, Type down there and follow me. There's one place. Second place where you can know what we do exactly is Oceanus Exports Private Limited. Ocean, that is exactly what you know, Ocean, and add us, Ocean Us Exports Private Limited. That also has a turquoise color logo with a round ocean is written there. thing, and that's where we talk about what we do. So why I wanted to talk to you this story, Acha, I'll give you a small 20 seconds so that in case if people are on LinkedIn and finding me, they must do the job done. Let me give you this 20 minutes. You can filter that out and then we can start with the conversation again. Oh yes, Preeti Watts has mentioned Premangi Khagram. And okay, Preeti, I'll just add Ocean as exports. Okay, she's already added. Perfect. So why am I doing this is because these interactions are one time, but that interactions can remain longer, right? So we want you to be attentive towards the next part because there is also one more story. You know, one thing that we all must remember is that stories actually sell. The facts tell you that this is good, this was this, but stories tell you that what are the nuances and what in what situation with that person was, which brings you to the real time situation. Oh, ये स्टेज में मैं भी थी, मैंने ऐसे क्यों नहीं सोचा, मैंने ऐसे सोचा, मैंने ऐसा सोचा होता तो. So I'm going to give you some bold points, not talking exactly the let's say the most technical parts of the industry, but I'm going to give you pointers which are important for you to understand. You're all, I'm sure, students. Preeti, are we all having students here, or there are people working or entrepreneurs figuring out their business?
No, ma'am. Sometimes we have students as well as some entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs do we have. Yes,
Wonderful. That's the perfect mix of audience that we can have. So I'll be catering to all of you equally. For the mix of students, there's always a learning of understanding what you want to do. You know, you want to know what you want to do. So that's one thing to clear that what you want to do. For that, you must know what you don't want to do. Don't is the bold. So for students, this is especially a 5-minute session for you. See, everyone passes through an age where one is a student, but one doesn't recognize that one has passed this age and then feel good about it and feel bad equally about it, because most of the times as students we waste our time, we don't productively use it, we don't understand what was important, and we don't do most of the things in a practical session. हम सब theories पढ़ लेते हैं, हम सब theories में अच्छे master हो जाते हैं, हम बहुत अच्छे papers लिख के आते हैं, लेकिन what if when we were asked to do the same session on a practical note, we don't do it, or we are almost 20-25% able to do it. So as a student, I urge and I request you that do anything in a practical session, anything. If you think that you really want to learn, practice it with someone. If you want to do business, do it, start it, or practice a business, or do a demo, or do something. Just don't talk, do. So this one thing in the student life, when you start accepting, you know, you will actually minus your 4 or 5 years of figuring out of life. Figuring out, we all say we are figuring out, but that figuring out time should be well spent in a place where you are actually we're actually thrown to figure out. So though you might not attend all the sessions, and I'm pardoning all the faculties who are present here, sometimes you can go out of those sessions, that's fine, but figure out your things practically. Don't miss out what was just a theory and you were not trying to understand the same sense of it. Preeti, meantime, I also request you to take a little of photographs, 254 photographs, for me to post it in my own media, right?
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah. Students, this was for you. Figuring out is at the stage of your college life, exactly. So make sure that you do it, and you do it practically. Practically is the right word, right? So you do it with whatever you want to do. You may be into agriculture and you are interested into gym, do it. Do it. Give a try. Go for it, and think that you are already married with 2 kids and having this burden of at least lakh and a 1,50,000 to bring every month. What are you going to do? When you have that pressure in your mind to build up something, at this age, you are going to, minus this age of cutting a lot of your extra wasted time. I'm telling you, because everyone in life has a huge amount of waste time, and it takes a lot of time to reach there what you want to do. So do that when you are a student. so that you have got more time to filter and understand of what you want to do exactly. And you may fail, but that's great. That's great, because in your college life you've already learned what you don't want to do, or what you liked, you cleared, and you are now wanting to move ahead. Make sense? Everyone here, I it feels very tough to talk to an audience with just names. I'm seeing Yoga, I'm seeing Amari Jyoti, I'm seeing Ramsha, I'm seeing Shrikant, I'm seeing, okay, Pranay is here. Pranay, good evening to you. Sujit Kumar, everyone. Be a little interactive, because this session is not going to talk to you a lot technical, but it's going to talk to you a little beneath your skin. What are the type of decisions that you must take before taking any big decision of your career? Agriculture is one good career that one must see, because why is because we belong from an agrarian country. If we can make some bigger sense out of it, there are a lot of convenience sector products that can really be understood from here. So make sure that if and in case if you're interested with any specific sector, let's say agriculture, you make equal justice to your practical knowledge students. So I hereby end up with the students part. I'm now gonna talk to entrepreneurs like me. Entrepreneurs, you are really at a hustling stage. You are at a stage where you want to understand, is it going to work with you or not? That's the first thing that you ever have a question. Do you have money or not? You are going to live with this much or not? Is this the right thing that you're going to do, or is this the right click of thing that you want to have? All these questions, I'm sure we have many detailed layers of more questions. But I'd like to hear more from you, entrepreneurs and students. Both of you, you can put your questions here. And meantime, while I'm speaking to all of you, we can keep ourselves understood that in any specific cases, if I can give you more knowledge, that'll be great. So again, back to when you're putting up questions, uh, entrepreneurs. Okay, there is a one question, and I think that's the best way to. Okay, I want to start up organic farming. So wonderful, Rushali Oka. Such a wonderful thing. Rushali, for organic farming, let's pick up this one as a topic of, let's say if you want to start up in organic farming, what should you do? Okay, what should you do? सबसे पहले let us say कि हमें ये सोचना है कि ये आइडिया अच्छा है या नहीं. Life में ना this particular part of the world, I assure you and I tell you that before knowing anything, I want to start up na. I want to try if I can do is the right word. So make sure that आपको अगर कुछ भी हाइड्रोफोनिक्स फार्मिंग जैसे जो बोल रहे theoretical, ma'am, okay, I'll answer this a little later, but let me pick this one subject that is a theoretical. uh, First of all, organic farming. Before knowing anything of what you want to do, give a try of sure 3 months of whatever you want to do. Till then, it's not in your mind that you want to do. It's just around. Okay, you are going to understand and be as cool as possible to know that, because you are trying. And when you're trying, you have to be committed to that trial. And for being committed to the trial, what you have got to do is you've got to prepare your own timeline. Timeline for 3 months. Every day you have to filter of what you have to do. See, trial, when you do it in the best form, gets the best product. Never be sure of doing it so sincerely and with utmost dedication till you have not done the trial. Trial is the most important thing in the world. I'm gonna tell you this. Keep it in bolds. Trial before anything. So for trial in organic farming, become a farmer. Do that by yourself. Understand what is needed. What are the certifications needed? Rushali, if you're hearing me, please mention all these pointers that I'm telling you. Never feel that you want to do it before you have confirmed with yourself that this is the job you would like to do every day. And for that, pick your 90-day challenge. One thing in that 90-day challenge, code it with your timelines. Code it with your at least quarters of 15 din. This I'm gonna do. This. These are the things. These are the things. Okay, your first thing can be farming. Okay, farming. What are the products that you would like to organically farm? So in that, you need to first filter out what's going to give you money, right? Product has to be aligned with the money. So what's going to give you the best of money? Second, climate. What climate am I going to organically farm it, which will, and where am I based? Because if I'm based somewhere else and if I want something else, not possible. So I have to figure out which area I am, what's going to give me money, what do I produce, and where will I sell it? Clear? So production, marketing, research, and sales. All of this in very easy words I said you. And that's how you're going to work on all of this. When you worked out on a bits and pieces, and when you see, like is bold here. See, when we get into the process, we forget that we were liking this. And then we suddenly start doing everything just because we wanted to do it. So this 90-day challenge is to get into the shoe of already doing it and figuring out if you can do it. If you come out with strength in 90 days and have already built up something, great. But this 90 days will help you understand that, oh, I did something. So, and if that 90 days is also already also given you some money, थोड़ा कमा भी लिया है उसमें, when you've already started working in little bits and pieces, that's an added motivation. So then what you've got to do is then you've got to sit with yourself and then you have to find mentors. See, this is for every business. When you knew, don't see, we in school when we were, what were we doing? We were giving monthly exams, 3 monthly exams, 6 monthly exams with some name given. I forget that. And then we used to give the annual exam. So when we reach till the annual, give your monthly exams. Right? So keep your quarters very clear and make yourself a mammoth background of knowledge of that industry, what you want to do. Find your competitors, understand their pricing, find the biggest competitors of the world, research yourself in such a thorough way that you know anything about the industry, plus practically put whatever simplest thing is possible. Don't make yourself chaotic, just focus on one product. Let's say if it's organic farming, just produce one product, and that too at one point of time. Figure out that one thing that you can solve of a client. That is, let's say if avocados are something that I want to organically farm, avocados, we get it on very imported rates. What do we do? What's the costing that I'm getting? I'm going to create a import substitution. What's the rate that I'm bringing it from? And what if I produce it here? If there is a solution, and if you can serve convenience, that is, if I'm going to benefit the clients with cost, with added logistics, and with added made in India tag, that's a solution, right? So think yourself in such a way that you are going to create something. And let's say I am mentoring a startup which is working for beetroot powders. There's also one more startup which is working for what do we say, that is dried dehydrated mother's baby food. So mother's womb milk. Yeah, so it's dried form of mother's milk. Mothers are, whoever is working, it becomes very tough for them to feed their child every point of time, and they're not even present. So what they did was they dehydrated, they dried it, so that the child gets the same nutritive value. If the mother is not present, the child can still work, and that's a unique solution, right? So think on many things while you can work around and see the possibility of your buyer audience. Who is going to buy it? How much is the market of your competition? If you see that, oh boss, this is such a crowded market. But if you think that you're gonna make sense, mention your USPs. Mention that what you're gonna give. You're gonna make a brand out of it. You're gonna logistically serve to every client by yourself. Visibly not possible, but still. कुछ ऐसा add-on आप करना चाहते हैं, and this doesn't come ऐसे. You cannot keep thinking and it comes. You have to keep doing, and then you realize that, okay, this is my own USP, and I can work on it like this. So figure out your own market, figure out your own product, one product, only one product. I'm going to mention this: no five, no two, no three, just one product for life. You pick it in such a way that that one product can compete besides every other product that is available in the market, and work on it. If it is working, great. And if it is not working, it gave you an assurance of working on a better product than this. And till that time, when you have already failed here in this one product, you're gonna get that second product, I tell you. तब तक आपको पता चल जाएगा कि second product क्या pick up करना है. So, but till you don't move, let's say if I'm here looking at you and not talking, and I'm not moving, nothing happens. But if I'm moving, that is when I'm talking to you, when I'm trying to make sense to you, is where I'm moving in life, and you are moving with me. Make sure that you move every single sentence from wherever you are at the moment, right? Make sure that you make sense in every possible senses with your career, because career, I tell you, is the most important thing one must figure. We feel it is easy to do as students and as entrepreneurs, but it's not. It's really not. Sometimes the solutions are very simpler, but we don't know how to do it. So try and knock as many doors as possible to take help, seek guidance, whoever you feel, because I think we are all brought here besides you from the Just Agriculture team, so that you are, made equipped and made acknowledged with what we have done. We have done hundreds and thousands of mistakes, and we still do it every day. I tell you, I still do every mistake. Every day I do some different mistake, but that doesn't make me stop doing it, right? You have to focus on that direction and that destiny, that okay, the day has started for me to do this. And for that, what I do is I'll simply tell you, I have a diary. Today is my day like this. So I mention everything that is possible for me. So I had a schedule at 7 p.m. and it was already in my schedule. I cannot go anywhere. I'm still sitting in the office, right? What if everyone else has left from my office? So you have to understand what you have to do, where have you got to do, what you have not got to do. You have to move. Move is the bold point. Move to know. Even if it's wrong, चलिए मान लीजिए गलत है, लेकिन गलत को गलत प्रूव करने के लिए भी करना पड़ेगा ना. So you've got to do it when you feel that मैं कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन मैंने वो किया नहीं. So at this age, students and the most young generation of India, I tell you that please do it, because I had started to do it and I left. I had just done one job, एक नौकरी की मैंने. अब वो मेरा डिसीजन था that I didn't wanted to continue with नौकरीज. I wanted to do something my own. और वो एक बड़ा रिस्क है, क्योंकि बिजनेस में ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम अर्ली स्टेज पे तुमने नौकरियां नहीं की होती ना, तो बड़ी प्रॉब्लम आती, तुमको समझ ही नहीं है क्या करना है. So when you do something, you are tend to be doing hundreds and thousands of mistakes. Even your partner and other person besides you is not going to know. उनको भी नहीं पता चलना है, लेकिन तुमको पता चलेगा कि गलती तुमने की है. But you're going to learn out of your mistakes. You know why? Because your meter is running. Your office has to be paid. You have fixed expenses. Everything works on meter. Everyone gives you time on their availability. And then you'll realize that, boss, the world is very selfish. No, the world is not selfish. You took a lot of time being unproductive when you were a student, which you would have actually given it at this point of time, right? So as students, please focus on yourself, on your career, grow yourself, grow your personal skill set, and also in such a way that you look like you look like what you're selling, right? When someone asks me, there is a short commitment. I tell you that they have to listen to me for 10 minutes, and their even eyes will not blink when I say, because I make sense. So you have to make sense, because you have to make sense. I think there are some still more minutes left. It is 7:37. Okay, let us start first with questions. 7:45, we'll start with questions so that we have 15 minutes of questions to clear. Okay, but one last story again to share with you together. See, I had not come here to give you a long lecture of what you should do and what you should not. I'm sure a lot of people here do give that, and it is very important also. It is very important to have theoretical knowledge. But theories are also important to justify with your brain. Your internal self should be well linked in decision making. आपको पता होना चाहिए कि मुझे क्या पसंद आ रहा है. मुझे तो ये एग्री में बैठा हूं, लेकिन मुझे समझ ही नहीं आ रहा. The moment you feel this, leave this room. Any point of time you feel that you're not making sense to yourself, जो जमाना आ रहा है ना, उसमें what is going to make sense, I'm going to tell you this. The coming time is the time where you are actually liking that product and you can make healthy relationships with all your clients or your employees or your prospects and then only be doing business or doing anything. Even to do, अगर आपको business नहीं, आपको नौकरी भी करनी है ना, तो आप उस चीज में कीजिए जो आपको पसंद है. I'm not against doing job. I honestly tell you, few people are made to do jobs and there's nothing wrong in it. But do something which you actually like doing. And I'll tell you a simple technique. Chaliye, I'm doing it for the first time, but okay. What we do at the moment is we all just close our eyes. Just close. All of you close your eyes. Just whatever I'm saying and whatever comes in your mind, the first thing, without thinking, keep your brains into your fridge at the moment. It's already too hot. And just think with your heart that what is that one profession that you actually like doing? One profession. It can be anything. Like someone would have got a feeling of gardening. That's something, and just write it. If there are people who are not having any clue, don't worry. Think on it. Okay, I think we have got some answer. So that one thing which you were actually wanting to do with your heart. Someone would have got makeup in hands. Someone would have got clothes in hands. Someone would have got a plane in hand. Do that. It's going to, the coming time of our generation, वो बहुत chaotic होने वाला है. Today, for me to come here, I have to, minus those 5 things which I don't want to do, I cannot do at the moment. So giving time to one session, I'm avoiding everything else. So ऐसा और भी ऐसा होने वाला है. Make sure that आप जिस भी चीज में फोकस, बिकॉज देखिए अगर आप प्रोफेशन चूज करते हैं ना, उस प्रोफेशन में घुस के आप लाइफ का सबसे ज्यादा टाइम उसमें स्पेंड करने वाले, अबाउट एनीथिंग. एंड इफ यू डोंट लाइक दैट, no parents' talks, no good money earning hopes make sense. If you like it, then only you'll be able to do it. So the bold point here is you have to like what you do, right? And it's a very simple sentence, very simple. See, I honestly didn't like agriculture, honestly, but I liked convenience. I liked when people were, people's issues were getting solved. I liked when they say that, oh, this is saving my time. मुझे वो वाला जोन पसंद आया. मुझे अभी भी वो फ्रेश तरबूज बेचना नहीं पता है कैसा होता है वो फ्रेश. I don't know, and I am not that person. So you have to filter yourself in such a way that you are not picking a burden out of your own career, and take it very easy because you are at a very, very, very easy stage. And I'm sure that you have parents around. Talk to them, understand from them what were you when you were a child, what were you when you've grown up. They know you much more better, though the current age you would be knowing yourself better. But ab jab chote the tab kya karte the? There are a lot of things that we can pick up from our own past, from our own childhood, and know what we were all about. So do that, right? I think 3 last minutes, and then we start up with our questions. Again, ending it up with a story. So, I'll tell you the story of how far can you go for what you want to do. This is just for that. At any point of time when you have started a business, let's say when I'm talking about myself, I'll give you more examples of business because I face it every day. You get all the feelings. One moment you don't know what you're doing, to second moment you have a day plan, and there are all type of days, right? Your accounts, finances are really to be seen because घर पे पापा पैसे लाते हैं, राइट? बट यहाँ पे कंपनी में अगर पैसे नहीं आएंगे तो कल चलेगा कैसे? You have to pay to your employees. So all these things makes you so much responsible that योर लिमिट्स ऑफ वर्किंग, आपकी जो माइंड से जो लिमिट्स होती है ना कि मैं इस तक जा सकता हूँ, वो हजारों गुना बढ़ सकती है। ये हजारों गुना बहुत इजी सेंटेंस है, बट आज अगर मैं एक चीज कर सकती थी ना पहले अपने लिए, तो व्हेन आई सी पीपल अराउंड वर्किंग फॉर कंपनी, आई कैन डू 1,000 times, and I have to do, and I have to put myself more deeper 1,000 times, and I have to be more committed to myself. So make yourself in such a way that you are a leader in yourself, and you are seen as an inspiration, not just in terms of living well, but in terms of your health, your wealth, and your relationships. This is by a story where I figured out that I was in such a worse situation that in 10 days I had to submit toughest of our audit papers, which was not possible. Ideally, looking at that view at that point of time, I felt it's not possible. We cannot do it. But the client was very important to us. See, you always choose कि सही बोलना है या फिर गलत बोलना है, राइट? तुम ना चाहते हुए भी कई बार गलत बोल देते हो बिकॉज तुम्हें सबको सही लगाना होता है. You want to take care of everyone around you. But I tell you, honesty is the only thing you can accept. I think as a team we decided that, ma'am, we will be saying that we will take some time and will not be able to do this. Ideally, we will not be able to do this is the answer. I said, नहीं, तुम communication clear करो. सर हम करना चाहते हैं लेकिन टाइम बहुत कम है हमारे पास. आंसर वो देगा तुमको. See, just तुम, you are not here to impress anyone in the world. No one. Not to yourself, not to your parents, not to anyone who is working with you, or not to even your clients. You are here because you are doing right things for yourself and others. And you also have the responsibility of taking care of everyone else because they learn from you. They learn what you say. And when you say a bad word, they say 3 bad words. So make sure that whatever you say in the most simplest, honest statements. ये सेंटेंस जो मैंने बोला, एग्जैक्ट सेंटेंस इन बोल्ड मैंने क्लाइंट को बोला. आई सेड वी वांट टू डू बट दिस इज बिकमिंग वेरी टफ. ये पॉसिबल हमें कर मतलब नहीं होगा. उन्होंने बोला तो क्या किया जा सकता है. मैंने कहा आप जैसे बताओगे वैसे करेंगे. आप बोलोगे करना है करेंगे. आप बोलोगे टाइम लगाना है लगाएंगे. आप बोलोगे कुछ भी करना है 10 दिन मत सो लेकिन करना है तो भी हम कर लेंगे. So with this honesty and dedication, they give us time. बट मैंने अच्छी अच्छी कोटिंग की होती ना, मैंने अच्छी अच्छी बातें की होती. हाँ हो जाएगा सर, हो जाएगा, आप जैसे बोल रहे हो. नो, दिस इज जस्ट कोटिंग योर सेल्फ विद द राइट लैंग्वेज एंड मेकिंग देम श्योर दैट दे आर कोटिंग. So be truthful to your own communications in such a way that it becomes easy for you to have a character of wealth. एक होता है कि सही में बहुत अच्छा बंदा है ये, you know? So become that. I'm sorry I took one more minute in this communication, but the bold was be honest and become a person you see inspired like, and that is a person of transparent wealth, right? I end this session here, but also would like to answer the questions which are kept to me till the time. All the other ones, if you have any questions, please keep me updated. I'll keep the reading on.
Ma'am, you correctly said it's always what we want to do in our life, and that too dil se, ma'am. So I just want you to start with the question that Mr. Meet Bhavsar is asking. It is there in the chat box, ma'am. So I actually find that question very interesting, and that too, very suiting to the particular thing that we were discussing right now. So the question is, ma'am, is it okay to run a business that help farmers without any profit? So what's your take on that, ma'am?
That help farmers? No,
Shall I repeat the
I
question?
need to. Yeah, please.
Yeah, ma'am, it is there in the chat box. From Mit Bhav sir, the question is, ma'am, is it okay to run a business which help farmers without any profit?
So when you're doing a business without any profit, it's not business, it's an NGO. And if you want to run an NGO, make it an NGO, but don't make it a business. And business is a business. If I say something is business, is business. See, business has simple rule of business, that is profit making sure that your community grows, and that only is possible when you're earning. See, when you're breathing, there is an expense that has already occurred in this last 1 minute that I spoke. आप है ना ये समझने के लिए एक चीज कीजिए, सब लोग, आपका है ना, आप बुक लीजिए, अपना कभी मंथली खर्चा काउंट किया, कभी भी किया? चलिए आज करते हैं. व्हाट यू डू, यू मेंशन डाउन, आप जहां पे भी रहते हैं ना, अगर घर पे रहते हैं, परफेक्ट, योर फैमिली इज गिवन यू अ हाउस, इट्स नॉट योर हाउस, इट्स देयर हाउस. So write down the expense if you're living out. It can be between 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, depends upon which area you are based. Write down that 1 month expense. Then write down your food expense. ये compulsory है, जीने के लिए खाना पीना तो पड़ेगा, right? You must know your worth at the moment also. और अगर धंधा business नहीं करना है ना, तो वो भी करेंगे. I don't tell you to do business, but name it an NGO when you want to do a business without profit. But make it a business when it's a business. And for you to know why to do business, let us pick up कि आपका total expense आप consider कीजिए, your food, your travel. You cannot stay in the house, right? You have to travel. You travel plus your stay. इतना तो basic खर्चा है ना. Don't consider anything. There is no wants that you have ever in the world. इतना basic खर्चा भी है ना, जो भी आता है ना उसको divide कीजिए by 30 days. Just 30 days, right? And then उसको divide कीजिए 60 से. तीस दिन का खर्चा जो एक दिन में अपने को आप 30 से डिवाइड कर रहे हो ना, पर डे का आपका एक्सपेंस है. आप कुछ नहीं कर रहे, दैट्स योर एक्सपेंस. सो यू मस्ट नो दैट if I am here talking to you or you are here talking to me, you have a value. We all have a value, and we are all spending that value by not doing anything. We have to earn, right? We only can speak. I can only speak if I'm earning. It doesn't make sense. If you want to do an NGO, do it when you are doing already a handsome amount of business. NGO will then make sense. So do NGO as an NGO perspective and business as business perspective, right? Yeah, Preeti, let's take the next question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question is from I'm just scrolling the chat box, ma'am. So yeah, so it's a question from Sheikh Mohammed. So Mr. Sheikh is asking, I want to start up an edtech platform for the farmers, and I'm an ideal stage of I'm in ideal stage of startup. No one is helping for getting resources of idea and the next step, man. So like he's a bit confused about what kind of idea, like he has this, like he want to do a startup of the edtech platform.
For farmers, I'm an ideal stage of startup. No one is helping for getting resources of idea and next step. Sheikh Mohammed. So basically, first of all, एडटेक स्टार्टअप्स तो काफी सारे हैं. सबसे पहले आप अपने, आई एम श्योर वो सब स्टडी किया होगा. सबसे पहले आपको क्या करना है, एडटेक स्टार्टअप्स में आप कंपटीटर्स को स्टडी कीजिए, आप अपना बिजनेस मॉड्यूल बनाइए. आपको लगता है कि ये मॉड्यूल वर्थ गोइंग है, देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु आर इनटू एडटेक टेक्नोलॉजी. You can connect me on LinkedIn. I can try to help you with a little people there. But make sure that जब तक आप मेरे पास आ रहे हैं ना, to know this, you have got your 90 days challenge clear. All the people here, I'll just say one thing कि आप जब भी कुछ भी आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं, 90 days is 90 days challenge for any profession is one important thing to do. One important thing. और उसी के बाद फिर आप श्योर होइए कि आपको ये करना है. Right? So Mohammed, don't worry on people not helping. No one helps you at the beginning, right? And you also cannot help yourself. What you can just do with yourself is you can leverage your own research strongly. Firstly, be sure of what you want to do. आप अगर sure हो गए हैं तो मुझे बताइएगा. I will try to help you with a few people who are good with tech startup ecosystem, and you can be between them. See, when you're a student, you have to be between your ecosystem. The ecosystem is the word because let's say if I belong from an ecosystem of dehydration, I have to keep talking to people into that same industry so that I come to know what are the nuances, what's happening, what's not happening, what's working with them, what's not working, what may work with us, but what may not work with us. But to be there, you have to do your groundwork. You have to pedal yourself to reach till there, because You still are very new. You need to find that space for yourself. So Instagram pe dekhiye, and I'm not sure Instagram can help you here, but LinkedIn can help very well. EdTech startups की ecosystem में बहुत सारे लोग हैं. Just type down EdTech startup mentor. इतना type करेंगे ना तो आपको बहुत बड़ा list मिलेगा. And pick a right mentor, get interned under the right person, and go and throw yourself in learning from them. If you will throw yourself in learning, you'll make 100% mistakes, but you're going to learn from it, right? So yeah, one thing, 90 days challenge. Second thing, ping LinkedIn to me. LinkedIn में मुझे message कीजिए once you're clear. Third thing, EdTech startups के लोग आप LinkedIn पे ढूंढिए and find your ecosystem. These are the three things to do. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, the next question is from Aditya. So, Aditya is asking, ma'am, as you said, practical knowledge is very much important, but it is easy to get the theoretical knowledge since the person is lagging in getting practical knowledge. So, could you please suggest some of the ideas like how to, how to get yourself into that practicality and how to get yourself stand up and say like, I just want to do that, like
Good
that. So,
question.
can you suggest some of the things?
Good question. For every one of you, good question. And I'll answer it in a way that everyone can do this. So let us say that I'm reading a book, right? And so I like something to implement. What am I going to do? मुझे एक आइडिया पसंद आया उसमें से और मुझे वो थियरी है. जैसे ये एक कैलकुलेटर है. ये कैलकुलेटर में मतलब उस बुक ने ऐसा बोला कि ये कैलकुलेटर में अगर तुम इसको गिराओगे तो ऐसा होगा, राइट? ये थियोरी पढ़ी, प्रैक्टिकल मुझे इसको गिराना होगा. सिंपल सिंपल. सो you just have to pick the calculator. That is one thing. You have to know you have to know what is a product, what is a service, what is it that you have got to pick it and do do it. Do it is the right word because doing it is very tough, very tough, very tough. Every day doing it is the most toughest thing to do. जब आप ये करते हैं तब आप ये रियलाइज करते हैं कि आप प्रैक्टिकली प्रॉब्लम्स फेस कर रहे हैं. जैसे लेट्स से वो ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग वाली बात हुई, किसी ने बोला हाइड्रोफोनिक्स करना है, लेकिन करना स्टार्ट कैसे करेंगे? तो उसको सोचना पड़ेगा कि लैंड कौन सी चाहिए, मैं क्या बनाऊंगा, मैं क्या डालूंगा, कितने दिन में क्या उगेगा. जब तक मैंने वो पढ़ा था कि मुझे ये करना है तब तक मेरे माइंड में नहीं था. बट जब मैंने सोचा कि मुझे ये एक्चुअली इम्प्लीमेंट करना है तब मेरे माइंड में क्वेश्चंस का सेट अलग बन गया. तो हर एक चीज को जब इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं तो उसके क्वेश्चंस और उसके नुआंसेस बदल जाते हैं. इस बदलते हुए माहौल में, लेट्स से फ्रॉम थ्योरी टू प्रैक्टिकल, इज योर माइंड स्टिल स्टेबल एंड लाइकिंग व्हाट यू आर डूइंग? मेक श्योर ऑफ दैट and just do it is matlab any situation. If you feel that this is a theory and this is ये theory है, practical क्या है? ये करना है. अब उस करने के लिए कौन से ऑप्शंस मेरे पास अवेलेबल है? व्हाट्स द मोस्ट प्रैक्टिकल डुएबल ऑप्शन? व्हाट्स द चीपेस्ट? व्हाट्स द मोस्ट फाइनेंशियली बजट फ्रेंडली ऑप्शन? दैट यू हैव टू फिल्टर आउट. 5-6 चीजें लिखिए, फिर ये पर्टिकुलर ऑप्शन मैं सबसे पहले ट्राई करूंगा. उसको कीजिए. उसको करने के बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. ऐसे करूंगा, वैसे करूंगा, बट दैट्स वेयर योर ब्रेन इज पुट अंडर अ रियल टेस्ट मोड की ओके यू हैव गॉट टू डू दिस. एंड दैट्स द बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस. टेक टाइम एंड टेक मेंटर्स आल्सो अराउंड. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं खुद ऐसे जंग में निकला हूं, बैकपैक करके जाऊंगा, ये कर दूंगा, ऐसा नहीं. Learn from people who've already done it and also tell your thinking to them that ये मुझे 3 प्रोबेबल सॉल्यूशंस दिख रहे हैं लेकिन मुझे ये इस वजह से पिकअप करना है, क्या मैं इसको कर सकता हूँ? Ask them questions. They'll say no, this is not going to work. Don't be demotivated. Think on why are they saying no. Okay, if it feels reasonable to you, don't do it. And if it doesn't feel reasonable to do it. Do it. If you'll do it, you'll find it. Okay, this was not right. Or boss, इसने गलत बोला मुझे, मेरे से तो हो गया है. So practically doing of anything has a nuance. You have to find your layers. You know your whole learning gets into challenge. जब आपको बोलते हैं ना कि इसको इस पेपर को लिखना है, पेपर लिखने के तो बहुत सारे तरीके हैं, मैं किस तरह से लिखूं, ओके मैं फिगर आउट करूंगा, ये करूं ये करूं ये करूं, मेरे लिए क्या बेस्ट है, मेरे हैंडराइटिंग किसमें अच्छे लिखेंगे, क्या कौन सी पेन यूज करूं, इंक फटेगा तो नहीं, ये तो नहीं होगा, कितना टाइम है मेरे, everything when you've got to do it has a different challenge. So make sure any situation you're doing it, you break it into pieces. Ask your mentors and then do it. That's the right answer. Thank you.
Wonderful answer, ma'am. I hope that answers to Aditya and all the young minds who were, looking for the answer. So thank you so much. Then we
Yes,
have
ma'am,
one
I got
question
my
from.
answer. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Aditya. Yep.
So, ma'am,
Yes.
there is another question from Miss Shavani. So, Shavani is asking, how shall I enhance my Agritech knowledge being a BSc Agriculture student, ma'am?
Be with farmers. Be with farmers as much as possible, and not just farmers. Learn the whole backward and forward integration of what farming is all about. If you want to learn, if आपको सीखना है ना कि चींटियां इतनी मेहनत क्यों करती है, तो चींटियों के साथ रहना पड़ता है, राइट? चींटियों की डायरेक्शन को समझना पड़ता है, वो कितने बजे उठती है, कितने बजे सोती है, उसका क्या, वो क्या खाती है, क्या खाना पीती है, कितने कितने टाइम टू 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 करती है, कितनी बार घूमती है फिरती है, यू नीड टू नो फ्रॉम देम एंड यू हैव टू कीप ऑब्जर्विंग देम, एंड फॉर दैट यू नीड टू बी विद देम. So anything to know with anyone, you have to start smelling like that same person. Be with that person and be with that particular place so that you are just around. एंड जब ये आप कपड़े पहन लगते हो और उसके सामने बैठ जाते हो ना, आई टेल यू, यूर 30% देयर. 30% आप में फीलिंग आती है कि मेरे को थोड़ा समझ आ रहा है, फिर थोड़ा थोड़ा और ज्यादा समझ में आता है, फिर थोड़ा थोड़ा और ज्यादा समझ में आता है, फिर प्रॉब्लम्स और बढ़ती है बिकॉज क्वेश्चंस और बढ़ रहे होते हैं, क्योंकि जो क्वेश्चंस आपने नहीं सोचे थे वैसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. बट उसमें मजा ये आता है कि आपको कुछ बेटर जानने को मिल रहा है, जो आप सोच के गए थे उससे कुछ ज्यादा ही बड़ा होता है, और आपको तो लगता है ये तो इतना ही था, लेकिन वहां उससे तो ज्यादा पहले ही दिन तुम्हारा योर ब्रेन हैज ऑलरेडी गॉट ओवर व्हेन यू रीच देयर. वो ये तो क्वेश्चन एक, अरे ये तो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं था. सो योर क्वेश्चंस आर आल्सो नॉट द सिंपलेस्ट एंड सिलीएस्ट ऑफ थिंग्स व्हेन यू रीच देयर, बट व्हेन यू डू इट, when you go there and when you be between them, then you start understanding the problem, then you start understanding the nuance, and then only you can solve the problem. And even if you want to disrupt that industry, if you want to do something absolutely different from what farmers are doing, you still have to do with it. आपको पहले वो तो जानना पड़ेगा ना कि वो एक्चुअली क्या कर रहे हैं, कि मैं ये ना करूं और मैं कुछ और करूं. You have to know what you want to do it till you know what you don't want to do it. जब आपने कर लिया फिर आप कंफर्म हो जाओगे ये तो करना ही नहीं है बॉस, ये इससे अलग ही करना है. सो आंसर इज बी विथ देम, be with whatever ecosystem that you want to get into. See, you are into just agriculture because somehow I feel that there is harmony in all of us talking about it. There is all of us wanting to get into this, so we are all talking some nuance, so we are all into one ecosystem, but you still can be under a very sector specific ecosystem, that is organic farmer, organically proven right farmer, who is exporting into multiple countries, who has hands hold on some market, some sales, and is a very literate person to make you understand this can be your right set. If you get to be there, जाओ और इसको एज अ फील्ड स्टडी मान के 1-1.5 महीना स्पेंड करके आओ उनके साथ, रिपोर्टिंग बनाओ कि क्या हो सकता है, एंड देन सिट एंड टॉक टू यू कि क्या मैं कर सकता हूँ. Till that time, don't even think. As Ratan Tata rightly has said it once, that it used to take us 4 years to come out of the shop floor and to be able to utter a single word besides our seniors कि ऐसा करना चाहिए. वो बोलने से पहले वो 4 साल उनको हाथ पैर घिसाने पड़ते हैं वहां पे, कि सब काम करना पड़ता है. So do it then only, and be with the right type of people so that you can do it. Right? I think that's the answer.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, Shravani has, extended her question with the earlier one. So now she's asking, I'm genuinely interested in agripreneurship, but as a side activity, not as a main career. So does it make any sense, ma'am, like to start an agripreneurship, but as a side activity, not as a main career? So
No, it is not. It is very fine. I mean, see, we all have our own paths of working. Um, it is never important that you find a passion into everything you do. If you like and if you've thought that you want to do it as a side activity, keep it that way. And that's not a problem. अब कोई problem नहीं है. But yeah, find your main path where you want to do exactly what. आपको क्या करना है? आपने side activity तो fix out कर ली है चलिए. लेकिन करना क्या है? फिर ऐसा ना हो जाए कि साइड एक्टिविटीज इतनी बढ़ गई है आपकी कि आपको मेन एक्टिविटी ही पता नहीं चल रही. You don't know what's the focus of your career. So it's always good to do. If you question me, that it's never wrong. If you like this, keep doing it. And if it's not important that you focus on your career with one specific thing, but yes, if it's a side activity, focus and know what's your main activity, and force yourself to do that more, and keep the side activity as a little lesser priority. Yeah.
Wonderful answer, ma'am. I hope that answers to Ms. Ravani. So, ma'am, actually, in my chat box, I cannot see any other questions.
I am
In your
getting
chat box,
a
yeah,
little of
yeah.
your, yeah. There is okay. I'm getting a few
Good evening,
DMs.
ma'am.
G, yes.
This is Mamta. I
Yes,
would
yes,
like
Mamta.
to start a horticulture mart, ma'am.
You would like to start up a
Horticulture mart.
okay.
How the planning should be done and what are the steps to implement this startup? Just I got an idea like this and
Mamta,
just
first
give
thing is
some
90-day
suggestions.
challenge.
Okay, ma'am.
First thing is 90-day challenge. Before even thinking of you wanting to do it, this is your challenge with yourself. Don't even say to people that you're doing this till you are not passing 90 days with it. Clear yourself up in such a way, and see, every industry that we are talking, let's say we spoke about organic a little more, we spoke a little about hydroponics. There are many. There's dehydration, there's freeze drying, there are many things available. But for anything to do, the core is you. The core is your own attitude to doing it. The core is what is your will and wish to do it. The core is what's your actual approach of doing. The core is how much are you into your veins to do it. If you do it with the same amount of passion that you had started it with, and keep following yourself, see, keep following you, because your problems are going to change every day. What was your problem on the first day? The 30th day you're going to laugh. This was not even a problem when I understood. This is going to change. But if you keep doing it, if you keep understanding those threads, every day is a thread to weave. हम हर रोज एक नया धागा बुनते हैं. So if you keep weaving those threads well, there gets to be a wonderful sweater that you see after this 90 days. And this sweater is important for you to wear in all the seasons before you get into the business. So there are many nitty-gritties, Mamta, when I say to get into the business that you are saying. But I'm giving you the internal person of mine that this is needed before anything else. See, if you have that approach and that willingness, you will find people also in that same nitty-gritties. जो मैंने आपको ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग वाले बिजनेस में बोला है, शायद इधर टेक्निकली कुछ चेंज करके ये सेम ही चीजें होने वाली है. बट this person which I said you with that approach is needed. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. नहीं हो सकता. So 90 days challenge with the zeal and a person inside you to do it well.
Thank you, Miss Mamta. I hope you got your answer.
I've also got a question from Dr. Nagrani Mahajan. Good evening. According to you, what is more challenging, the initial startup phase or after, once you have established and known as brand? Interesting question. Okay, so what I think is more tougher is when you are at a seed stage, figuring out. जो figuring out stage है वो, because when you've made yourself a brand, you have money to survive. You know that this idea is already working and you're sleeping rightly. There are other problems, but these are the basic problems which doesn't happen there. Here, you have questions. You have left so many things. You have started something. You don't know if you even have another 100 rupees to spend on something that you wanted to eat also. And you've sacrificed all those because you want to do this. So that pressure the mindset, the amount of dealing with your own self and with your family and with everyone around. Because see, when you are not earning at any point of time into startup, there are hundreds of people doing Naukri, feeling their EMIs, making you feel that they are at a blessed stage than you. So that's a very pressured time, pressure of yourself. But I think that's the best time to know yourself and your strength. If you can survive into that, just survive. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, but survive. Survive in the most fittest form. That's the most pressured job you take. I think most of the hairs turn white and gray when you have all these thoughts in mind. But that's, I think, the most toughest phase. Otherwise, when you are a recognized brand, to multiply the brand name is another challenge. But I think it is comparatively a little better than this problems of survival which you have in the initial nuance, and you don't know where in life have you ever got to go anywhere. So that's a bigger problem. And to top it all, you also don't have anyone who has a support of yours. Like anyone, most of the times nahi hote. Hello, let's agree with that fact. So yeah, I think that I in my eyes, that's one thing. So yeah, I also have got one more question on my DM, which I'll answer. Okay, she's also mentioned, okay, Nagarani ji has mentioned, Meet has mentioned, thank you, ma'am, to answer my question, hands only. Okay, chaliye, Meet, thank you so much. Mohammed Irfan has, I've already answered, and Shabani have already answered. Okay, I think I've answered everyone. There was one Vivo formative and submative. I'm not able to get this question. Aniket ka question tha, you don't go initially for 100% organic farming. You will be in loss. Go organically gradually with increasing your area under organic, and study market first for your organic product. 100% right. 100% right. Organic is not the right stage for India to get into, because we are facing many problems, because first of all, the land needs to be fertile for 5 years of no putting up of anything in any case, and then having certifications at place. Even if we have certifications, our government is at a little backward stage of helping us, because a lot of wrongs has happened in the organic farming industry of ours. So check the industry first, and don't dive into it. Keep observing, keep knowing. Do a 90-day challenge, understand what's it, and see yourself where is it going. Don't do anything in any hustle. You are not important to lose 90 days than losing your life. So keep yourself into that 90-day challenge before anything. Say, even if it is personal life and you want to put on your health, give yourself 3 months, give yourself a fit 3 months to do whatever you want to do. So yeah, I think I've tried to answer in many different ways, not just in one technical way, but picking up different nuance of things. And you all can connect me back on my LinkedIn profile. I will try to answer, provided I have the answers. Sometimes I also don't have answers, and many a times I don't have answers. So if I have answer, I will give you answer. But yes, keep questioning yourself, and bolds which I mentioned you in whole of the session. Please take a note of all of this. I think in this 1 hour, we try to give you utmost of our knowledge, so that you don't, waste your time into what we have wasted into. That's it. I thank Just Agriculture for again giving this time for me to, have an audience of such a wonderful time to treat me well with good questions, and also most importantly to seek some of my brain so that they can go and get something better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, I strongly agree with the fact that when you said you're not interested in, agri and agri startups, but in communication. But actually, it seems impossible to think of you are not an entrepreneur, ma'am. You're such a motivator. You are equally in communicator, a PR, and an entrepreneur, ma'am. So to us, sometime it is the motivation, it is the inspiration. And but for this session, I must say it is a practical reality check to maximum of our questions that we put, ma'am. So please accept a big thanks on the behalf of all of us and our team, Just Agriculture. And thank you for being here with us. Thank you for being you, ma'am. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, before you leave us, I will just, extend a question from Muhammad Irfan. It was a DM to me. So I will just steal another 2 to 3 minutes of your
No
valuable
problem,
time,
no
ma'am.
problem. No
So,
problem, no
ma'am,
problem. Please, please,
yeah, ma'am.
please.
So the question is, ma'am, please elaborate about the 90 days challenge, ma'am. Like people are ignited, like what you said. So he's asking
Oh,
about your 90 days challenge.
okay, okay. ओके, चले हम हिंदी में बात करते हैं. आई थिंक 90 डे चैलेंज मतलब हम सब लिखते हैं कि हमें क्या करना है. ठीक है, हमको सबको 4-5 चीजें हैं जो हमें करनी है. आई हर्ड दैट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल वांट टू डू स्पेसिफिक थिंग्स. सब लिखिए, आप सब लिखिए, वो एक एक्सरसाइज रखिए. थोड़ा सा टाइम आपका ज्यादा बढ़ गया है, आप डिनर पे डायरेक्ट पहुंचेंगे, बट दिस इज अ गुड एक्सरसाइज. लेट्स डू इट. हमने जैसे वो सोचा ना कि व्हाट वी वांट टू डू इन जस्ट 20 seconds we decide. You know, we had some thoughts. I'm sure a few of us had real good thoughts, but if we didn't, no problem. आपने सोचा है कि आपको ये करना है, वो आप लिखिए. सबसे पहले सिर्फ इतना लिखिए क्या करना. उसके बाद मैं आपको 90 डेज का ब्रेकआउट देती हूँ. मैंने जिस तरह से मैंने सोचा है, मैं अगर करती तो किस तरह से. मैंने नहीं किया, मैंने ऑनेस्टली नहीं किया, और क्योंकि मुझे मुझे बताने वाला कोई नहीं था. आई जस्ट डोव इनटू दैट एंड देन had massive problems found when I was already into water and trying to survive. So everyone has their own challenges, but when you do this, it's very helpful, I'll tell you. So first is you mentioned down what you want to do. Okay. Second is you pick a timeline. आप आपका जितना भी जॉब्स है ना, जो जो आप सीखना समझना जानना चाहते हैं, वो सब लिखिए. उस पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री का, उस पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री का. इंडस्ट्री है, क्लाइंट है, बाजू वाला क्या करता है, कंपटीटर क्या करते हैं, कॉस्टिंग क्या करते हैं. तो इसका सबका ब्रेकआउट होता है कुछ हेडिंग्स में. प्रोडक्शन, मार्केटिंग, सेल्स, एचआर, रिसर्च. दिस आर द लार्जर हेड्स, राइट? दिस आर द लार्जर हेड्स, बट इसके सबके अंदर में छोटी 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 चीजें, हम चोटियां बनाते हैं ना, छोटी छोटी. We start making those small pleats. So we just have to understand what's that first thing that I want to know about production. One, कहाँ बनता है, नहीं पता, लिखो. क्या होता है, नहीं पता, लिखो. कैसे होता है, नहीं पता, लिखो. Anything in the world you don't know about production of that particular process, or let's say organic farming ही पकड़ लेते हैं अपने, तो प्रोडक्शन उसको कैसे करते हैं, राइट? नहीं पता, लिखो. क्या करते हैं, नहीं पता, लिखो. आप ये जो हेड्स है उसमें उसको ब्रेकआउट करते. इस हेड्स में आप सबको टाइमलाइन दो. टाइमलाइन क्या होता है? इस चीज को मैं 8 दिन में करूंगी, इस चीज को मैं 4 दिन में करूंगी, इस चीज को मैं 2 दिन में करूंगी. और हर बार चीजों के बीच में आप स्पेस रखिए. स्पेस कैसे? कि जब मुझे अगर उसमें कुछ डीपर पता चला, जैसे मुझे पता चला कि डेट्स तो डेट्स है ही नहीं, ये तो कुछ और है, तो आप अगेन you went back to your whole research and you said, oh boss, this is wrong, so give that 2 days extra to again finalize that what was it. Okay, this was not this. You have to research every topic of your 90 days challenge. That okay, मैं अगर business करूंगा तो this is production to me, this is marketing to me, this is sales to me, this is HR to me. And briefly understand that this business is how much feasible, what funds are needed to me, how much amount of important product is it needed. Packaging बहुत important है मेरे में, ये नहीं है. तो छोटी छोटी चीजें आपको उसको बांधना है, गूंथना है. उस टाइम पे कुछ क्लैरिटी नहीं मिलती है, बट जो तुम अपने मगज के साथ कसरत करते हो ना, उसमें तुमको क्या फील होता है, इस वजह से होता है ये 90 डेज. See, we get irritated. हमें बहुत अच्छा लगता है. I have a business. Must. This is a good sentence and a good word to use, but when you do it, you are under pressure a lot of times. No one knows what's the pain inside my seat till I am not doing it. So you'll be able to feel all the feelings in this 90-day challenge. Timeline में करना है. जो जो हेडिंग्स आपने करने हैं, जो मैंने आपको बेसिक डिस्कस किए, बहुत सारे हेडिंग्स होते हैं. मैं हर एक यहाँ पे जिनको जो जो करना है उसको हर एक को अलग तरह से ब्रेकआउट कर सकती हूँ. सो व्हाट यू गॉट टू डू इज You have to pick your headings. Let's say hydroponics है, तो hydroponics का rehydration ratio क्या है? Which type of space is needed? What type? ये production में उनका ये problem होता है समझने का. कितने type of sunlighting needed है? What type of water is needed? There are many things. What have I got to grow together? What can keep the yield much better? How can I keep it everywhere alive? How can I maintain the water churning system well? These are all production related things for hydroponics, which is very different for someone getting into organic farming. तो हर एक चीज का एक अलग न्यूआंस है, लेकिन आप अपना मगज खोलने के लिए इस 90 दिन को उसमें घुसाइए, तो पता चलेगा कि क्या मैं ये कर सकता हूँ. 90 दिन के बाद पता चलेगा बॉस ये तो बहुत टफ है, बहुत टफ है ये तो. बट यू हैव गॉट अ लिटिल आइडिया दैट ओके, दिस इज इट. Now we have got to step in a bigger and a better world of doing it. 90 दिन में कुछ बहुत मेजर नहीं हो सकता है. 90 days is just for you to smell, eat, feel, think and back to the world. Then you get into a real problem which is after it, that okay, I've got to do this now. मुझे समझ कुछ आ रहा है और मुझे लग रहा है उसमें मजा आएगा और काम हो सकता है, बिजनेस बन सकता है. Right? So this is how you break out yourself in this 90-day challenge and come out as a really strong person. See, you will find that everything is tough, I'm going to tell you. But if you want to continue with it, you've already tasted it. So that's where I'm going to bring it to you. I think that's what I mean to you 90 days all about. Usko अच्छे से break कीजिए. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was very interesting to listen to you, and especially this 90-day challenge, ma'am. So I hope whatever you said, we will try to, inculcate in our lives. Whatever you try to convey, we will put into. So thank you so much again, once again, joining with us and addressing us. So on the behalf of all the participants present here and all my team of Team Just Agriculture, I convey a big thanks to you, ma'am. So I have already put your LinkedIn, the name and the startup name. So if anybody wants to connect to you, so they can connect to you, ma'am. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again joining with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much to such a wonderful audience. We see you on LinkedIn otherwise, and all the best to whatever discussions that happen. Only the worth is when you apply it, right? कुछ भी ना ले तो apply कीजिएगा. No words are important if you have not applied it. So execute it well and be practical. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll leave them.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, dear participants, it was, we will now call it a day. And I hope you all learned and I hope you enjoyed the session. So with this, we will meet again tomorrow with the new sessions to come. So till then, have a great day. Thank you.